afternoon, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this 2023. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Saturday out there so far. Hope everybody has a great Saturday afternoon. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well. Hope and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the tropics here and also portion of the lower 48. Also, we're going to take a look at the information on Hurricane Lee, also on Tropical Storm Margot, the watches, warning, and advisory map, and also the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today, and also again for your Sunday and Monday outlook as well. So if you're a new viewer and you have not subscribed to my channel, don't forget to smash that subscribe button before you leave this video. Also like these videos, share these videos on social media, and let's go ahead and get the show on the road here, folks. And we're going to start off with Major Hurricane Lee, which looks a little bit better defined this afternoon than it did yesterday. Just northeast of the Leeward Islands. Here is Margot behind Lee here. It should remain a fish storm. Here's the remnants of Gert still kind of spinning above him. Spinning above Margot, that is, excuse me. Also, we got some tropical wave moving off the African coast. We're going to be watching as well. Here's Franklin still piddling around up here in portions of the northeastern tropical Atlantic. Also, kind of just some meandering Adelia kind of just piddling around as well up here around St. John's Island. Kind of them moved on off a little bit. Also, we got some scattered activity off the east coast of the United States. There's a little bit of system here over the portion of North Carolina and Virginia. One little system here in portion of the Gulf of Mexico as well. More activity down in Central America, back into the Eastern Pacific as well, off the Mexican coast. All that activity will continue to move on off to the west. All right. As you can see here, we got a little cold front, I think, coming down from the north. This will drop temperature. This will continue to drop south. And expect maybe a fall cold front to start coming through toward mid to late next week. And that's going to drop temperature pretty much a good bit across the continental 48 United States region. All right, let's continue on. Let's take a look at the satellite imagery of this is not Franklin, but Lee. As you can see here, it looks a little bit better organized, but not too much. It's still trying to fight that wind shear, trying to get into the storm. It do not have no eye, and the circulation has got some convection still blowing up around the center. I would not be surprised if this thing could drop back to a Category 2 hurricane, but it may fluctuate around 2, 3. Could go back to a 4, but I'm expecting it mainly a Category 3, maybe a 2, maybe bump up to a Category 4. Possible. That's only possible. But right now it's still battling that dry air and also some wind shear over the storm. You can see here a lot of that activity is still kind of shearing off to the north and east. Only convection is just pretty much just around the center of the storm at this time. That's why I'm expecting this system to possibly drop down to a Category 2 as it continues to push on off to the west northwest. I would not be surprised to see that as well happen to this storm. But right now, I'm going to go with a Category 3. But like I said, I would not be surprised to see this thing drop to a Category 2. Yesterday, I told you in my earlier video yesterday, I said that this system may drop off as fast as it ramped up. And it did. It showed you. I said this storm would... everybody said it would rapidly intensify. It did. I said it would rapidly weaken, and it did. It went from a Category 5 down to a Category 2 hurricane at this time. So right on the borderline of 2 and 3 at this time. So like I said, if that wind shear gets a little bit more into the system and a little bit more dry air moves into it, it will weaken it a little bit more. It will become a Category 2 hurricane instead of a Category 3. So I hope that information helps out. But that's what I'm looking at right now. Like I said, As you can see, this system is starting to become kind of raggedy system. It's not well defined as it's been, but like I say, it's still got a good circulation in the middle. That's why it's going to keep some of it just blowing off, um, just ripping it apart in certain areas of the storm, because dry air is trying to work into that storm to weaken it down some. So it's not, will it become a category 5? I don't think it will ever again. Will it become a category 4? Possible, but not likely right now. But is anything is possible, but right now it may be a category 2 as it continues to push on off further to the west northwest. I'm expecting it to further weaken a little bit, maybe weaken a little bit more, because the water where Franklin was and also Adelia was kind of done, they done churned up the water enough, so it done cooled the water over in that region. So that's why I'm expecting this system to probably continue to weaken down a little further, because like I said, this storm moved Franklin and stirred up the waters in the tropical Atlantic, and the water is not quite as warm as it was before Franklin moved through that region. That's why I'm expecting this system possibly to weaken down a little bit further as well. Alright, but anyway, that's my opinion. Just want to let you know, this is my forecast. Okay, we're going to take a look at the forecast cone here. Alright, as you can see here, here's the wind field around the system. Hurricane force winds around behind the X there in the orange. The Hurricane Center keeps it a major hurricane, and then there's that turn we expecting. Bermuda, you need to be on the lookout for possible impacts from this storm as it continues to lift off to the north, northwest. And like I said, this wind field to the east of the storm will probably get you, bring some tropical storm force winds to Bermuda. And I figured probably around mid to late next week, Bermuda, you'll be getting on some impact from the storm. Also the southeast coast, you're not going to get no impact from this system, but you will get pretty much high rip currents along coastal areas from Florida all the way to the Outer Banks of North Carolina between now and mid next week. So expect some high swells, also some rip current, maybe some flooding, inland flooding right along coastal areas of the southeast United States from this system. Alright, but if you're tracking this system at home, it's located near latitude 20.3 north, longitude 58.2 west. Maximum sustained winds at 115 miles per hour with higher gusts, and movement is to the west northwest at 12 miles per hour. Right now, it still remains a major hurricane with winds of 110 miles per hour or greater. That would be 111 to 130. Like I said, it's only 115, so that's why right now it's not too far from a category 2 hurricane, and that's where pretty much expecting it to remain at this time. All right, now let's take a look at the we're going to take a look at the information here. Here's the computer guidance, taking this system, this curve where it's located at now, pretty well compacted. We only got one outlier taking it a little bit further west, but pretty much the remainder of it going straight, taking that due north turn, and then eventually off to the northeast. Bermuda, that's why I'm expecting tropical storm conditions expected probably by the end of next week in your region. So I would not be surprised to see that happen as well. So, all right, let's take a look at the intensity guidance of this system. You can see here, right now it's a Category 3 hurricane with winds of about 110. I figured about 100 knots. So I figured the next advisory may be the 2 p.m. advisory. It may drop it down to maybe uh, uh, it may drop it down to about 100 and um, 10, maybe 110 miles per hour. But most of the models do keep it a Category 3 hurricane. There's only about 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a few models takes it back into a Category 4. That's why I said it's a possibility of a Category 4 storm. But Category 5, I don't think that will happen again. So we ain't got to worry about that. But anyway, right now, I'm pretty much just going to keep it a Category 3. Maybe a Category 4. But like I said, pretty much just Category 3 through the entire period here. So just want to let everybody know that, like I said, this is my own forecast. So I'm just gonna go with the flow. All right, that's the information on Lee, and let's move on to our next storm. This is Margot. As you can see, Margot is getting a little bit better intensified, getting a little deeper convection around the center. Still expected to become a hurricane sometime later next week. So right now, it still remains a tropical storm over the central and eastern tropical Atlantic and a fish storm. All right. Okay, we're still waiting on to get the information. That's just okay. Here's Margot here. All right, p.m. Monday by 8 p.m. Monday evening or Monday afternoon should remain a hurricane, and there it goes there into the central tropical Atlantic and remains a fish storm in that region. All right. If you're tracking the system at home, it's located in latitude 20.5 north, longitude 38.0 west. Maximum sustained winds are near 45 miles an hour with higher gusts, and movement is to the west-northwest at 12 miles per hour. All right, let's take a look at the forecast cones, and then we're going to take a look at the intensity guide. All right, as you can see, that's the current position of the storm. Pretty well compacted lines. The spaghetti-o plots. It gets a little bit wider toward the end of the forecast period, but that's why the National Hurricane Center has got it going, continuing on off to the northwest, then eventually off to the north later on in the forecast period cycle. All right, let's take a look at the intensity guidance of this system. As you can see here, right now it still remains a tropical storm, about winds of 40 knots. That equals up to 45 miles per hour winds. That continues to ride on off to the north and east. And I'm moving up into a Category 1 hurricane. Some keep it a tropical storm. A couple of them will take into a Category 2. But mainly look like it's going to be just mainly a Category 1 hurricane. But I would not rule out a Category 2 possible in the tropical Atlantic. The other day it looked like it was going to become a Category 3. But now the intensity guide is kind of pushing it down. And looks mainly a Category 1. Maybe a Category 2 at most. Alright. So I'm not really worried about Margot because it's going to remain a fish storm over the central and eastern tropical Atlantic. All right, let's move on to the watches, warning, and advisory. That was your tropical update. Now we're going to get back to the lower 48 as well. Alright, as you can see here, we got some severe thunderstorm warnings up here around the Washington, D.C. area, around the Philadelphia, New Jersey region. Same in portion of Virginia and also in the North Carolina as well. Flood warning also in effect there as well. Also, we have flash flood watches in effect for Virginia, central and western Virginia, and portions of central and western North Carolina. We still got those heat advisories that are in portions of Texas. Also, special weather statements there as well. Also, we got sets of heat warnings also in effect for Arizona and Southern California, and some red flag warnings for Western California, and a little bit of air quality alerts in Colorado, and a special weather statement there for you guys in Nevada. All right, Hawaii, the Alaska area still got some air quality alert, wind advisory there as well, gale warnings around the area. South side of the Hawaiian Chain Island, gale warnings on the south side, central and north, looks a-okay. All right, Storm Prediction Center time. To the Florida Keys. Also, we got over here in portions of Louisiana, Texas, all the way up into portions of Wisconsin, Minnesota, all the way into portions of Montana, also into Idaho as well, also back into portions of Utah, Nevada, and California. We have a marginal risk over in Nevada and also into Utah as well. Same up here in portions of Montana, all the way down into portions of New Mexico and Texas, down there also in the portions of Texas as well, south central Texas. All right. We have a slight risk of severe weather with portions of Nebraska into Kansas. Same over in portions of Nebraska back into Wyoming. Alright, we have a marginal risk through portions of the Carolinas all the way into portions of Vermont and New Hampshire. And a slight risk over portions of Pennsylvania and portions of New York State. Alright, if you live in Allentown, Pennsylvania, Reading, Pennsylvania, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Scranton, Pennsylvania, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, slight risk for severe weather this afternoon. If you live in New York, Houston, Texas, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, San Antonio, Texas, Austin, Texas, you're under a marginal risk for severe weather this afternoon. Alright, tornado probability, 2% up here in portions of Pennsylvania, portions of southern New York State. Also, if you live in Scranton, Pennsylvania, out of New Pennsylvania, Binghamton, New York, State College, Pennsylvania, and Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, 2% risk for a tornado this afternoon. Damaging winds, 5% in brown, 15 in the yellow. If you live in Allentown, Pennsylvania, to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, surrounding areas, 15% risk for severe damaging wind. If you live in New York, all the way to Austin, Texas, this includes Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, you included as well. This is for a large region. Alrighty. Well, let's see, that's the wind probability. Let's take a look at the hail. That was the winds. Excuse me. Alright, hail probability. I didn't do it, so but anyway, the 5% in the brown, 15% in the yellow, the significant severe weather for large hail. Include North Platte, Nebraska, and Lexington, Nebraska. If you're in the 15% area, this includes North Platte, Nebraska, Gillette, Wyoming, Lexington, Nebraska, Torrington, Wyoming, and also into Douglas, Wyoming. Also, that's 15% risk for large hail. If you live in Houston, Texas, all the way to Reading, Pennsylvania, including Billings, Montana, Allentown, Pennsylvania, and Pasadena, Texas, 5% risk for large hail. I forgot this. I was getting ahead of myself, but we got the hail. All right, now we're moving on to your Sunday forecast from the Storm Prediction Center. Alright, we got general thunderstorm from Maine all the way to the Florida Keys. Same over from South Texas all the way over to portions of Illinois and also into Wisconsin. All the way back to Montana, back into portions of Nevada and California. We have a marginal risk over portions of North Texas and the portion of Kansas and also in Oklahoma, Colorado, and New Mexico. If you live in Lubbock, Texas, Amarillo, Texas, Pueblo, Colorado, Garden City, Kansas, Dodge City, Kansas, marginal risk for severe weather on Sunday. Tornado probability less than 2% all areas. Damaging winds, 5%. Same for hail. The same areas include Lubbock, Texas, Amarillo, Texas, Pueblo, Colorado, Garden City, Kansas, Dodge City, Kansas for large hail and damaging winds. Let's take a look at day 3. Alright, this general thunderstorm from Maine all the way to the Florida Keys, same from Texas back to New Mexico to Nevada, also in Wyoming, Colorado, all the way over to portions of Michigan and also Illinois as well and surrounding areas. Alright, well, this wraps up today's video. Hope everybody enjoys it. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well. Also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing if you have not. And we'll catch you back in the next video. So take care and have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday afternoon, folks.